Peace, what's going down? It's DJ Payne1, and I've been meaning to release this video for some time. I had it done a long time ago, and so what I want to do is update it because something happened this morning on Twitter that jogged my memory and reminded me that I had this video done, and I think it's something important for artists, especially those of us who are working on marketing campaigns, marketing our own music, doing it ourselves, and therefore using our own money and resources. Now, I'm cheap, so the last thing I want to happen is for me to spend some money and end up getting scammed by some company claiming they can deliver all these results. But what I wanted to do before getting into the original video was to show you a way to investigate a website before paying money for a placement on that website. Early on Twitter, there was a producer or something, I don't know what he does exactly, but he has a website. He charges people to get featured on the website. And part of his marketing tactic was, in my opinion, pretty childish. It was accusing other websites of being scams, and then turning around and promoting his own services and guaranteeing results, which I think is a little disingenuous, to say the least. And before I get into this investigative service, I make all these videos explaining how to seek information for yourself, how to market music directly to fans, how to build up your social media following. And all of these techniques usually just cost you your time and energy. A lot of, and I've seen this happen way more often than it should, a lot of artists will spend a little money here and there, or they'll spend, a bunch of money, which could be anywhere from $300 to $3,000 on a single service, whether it's getting placed on a website, getting put on a mixtape, paying to perform, paying for magazine ads, whatever, and expecting that one single action to catapult their careers to the top. And I think if you feel that way, if you feel that you're just going to throw money at your rap careers and not actually do the groundwork, then you've already lost. You might not like hearing that, but it's the truth. So let's check out this website that I want to show you. So what I'm going to do is, only because he put himself out there, we're going to use this J1 dude as an example. Check his website using this investigative tool. Sometimes I use Alexa.com. They didn't have any data this time, so I'm going to use statshow.com, STATSHOW.com. And first we're going to look up j1inc.com and see how many daily visitors he gets. So it looks like 250 daily visitors, give or take. I mean, these aren't the most accurate, but they give you a good relative idea of which sites are getting more traffic than others. 250, so you can look at that number and make a choice whether or not to pay money to be featured on that site. Let's look at another website just to compare. And this is, obviously an unfair comparison because this is one of the number one hip-hop sites on the internet, hiphopdx.com, and you'll see that they get a lot of daily visitors. And it's really difficult to get on their site. You can't just pay, $50 or $100 to get on this site. They're really selective about their content, and obviously they have good reason. So as I get into the original video, keep this in mind. This is a good investigative tool just for you to make sure that you're spending your money wisely. I don't personally advocate spending a bunch of money just to get on one website. I think it would honestly be better, number one, build up your fan base first organically, and then number two, hire a PR person who has a lot of experience that can get you on a lot of sites over a period of time. That's just my advice. If you want to pay to get on a site, that's up to you, and this is one way to make sure that you're spending your money wisely. Obviously, you want to end up on websites with a lot of daily visitors, not a few daily visitors. So I hope that tool helps. So as you begin your DIY independent marketing campaigns, just keep this all in mind and make sure that you arm yourself with knowledge and information, because that's really the most important tool we have as independent and do-it-yourself artists. So much success to you. Here's the original video. Check it out. Peace, what's going down? This video is for the artists who are starting to or are considering investing their own money into their, or anyone's money for that matter, into their music careers. A lot of people are apprehensive about being scammed. Some people aren't apprehensive enough about being scammed. I see a lot of people falling victim to some dream selling, and I just wanted to make this video to give some quick tips on how to avoid being scammed and how to at least begin to make sure that you are making wise investments. First and foremost, I think the best defense against scams is, number one, having goals. And browse through my promoting your music online video series, because I do have a video specifically on goal setting. And the reason I say that is because if you already know exactly what you want and need, then nobody can convince you to spend money on a service you don't want or need. So once you have your goals and your long-term plan, stick to it. Be consistent. Don't quit after 2 months. Don't invest $300 one month, $50 the next month, and just give up. Nobody sees major results even in their first year or two of being a self-employed professional. And that's all encompassing, not just musicians. If you opened a bakery or a brick and mortar tax service, you're not going to see a return on your investment. You're not going to start turning over a profit right away. Statistically speaking, you might, and if you are, congratulations. Number two, another great way to avoid scams is to have a budget. And this doesn't mean you have to have a ton of money before you can start building a career. But, set aside money you do have for certain essential services that you need to further along your career goals. And that way you'll know which services you can afford and when. Number three, do your research. A lot of people are working with independent consultants or independent promoters or publicists, right? So research the person. Do they have an online presence? Does their online presence seem legitimate? Can they list some clients they've worked with? And if they can't show you evidence of their good work, that could be a red flag. Especially, and you can tell, when you start asking people some questions and they just don't want to answer them, or they give you weird answers, it's probably a red flag. You should trust your instinct on that one. And in addition to researching the person or the people behind the service that you're purchasing, research the service itself. So for example, if you're paying to be placed on a website, check out some traffic estimators. I use statshow.com, statshow.com, to see how many people visit the site. And these are only traffic estimators, but they're useful, especially when you're comparing two sites. Also consider the benefits of the service and its price. Use your goals and your plan as a reference point, because not every service is going to be worth it depending on your goals and how far you are along in your career, what your budget is, the type of audience you want to reach. So for example, an EDM producer might not want to spend money to have music published on thesourcemagazine.com, right? And then there are some services to just avoid based on their efficacy, because if something just doesn't work, don't do it. I mean, if somebody is saying, I will put your mixtape on the windshield of every vehicle in the Houston area, and I'm just coming up with an example that seems like something you wouldn't want to pay for, because people are just going to throw your CDs away because that's annoying and people don't like having their cars messed with. So maybe you shouldn't spend money on something like that. Lastly, if a service seems too good to be true, it probably is. Services that get you real followers or guest appearances from high-profile artists that are way too cheap, and most of all, services that guarantee success, those are all red flags. That's what I consider somebody trying to sell you a dream. Someone says, give me $500 now, you'll be famous by tomorrow. Give me $100 now, I will guarantee you 1,000 real Twitter followers. You can't guarantee real, come on. So when all is said and done, use your common sense, because your common sense really will go a long way. If you're spending your own money on your career, then you owe it to yourself to make wise choices. You owe it to yourself to take the time to research a service or a company or an individual. Ask the right questions. Look at your goals. Reconsider your goals. Reshape and revise your plan. Because at the end of the day, it's your money and it's your career. So you have to take care of yourself. There are a lot of great companies out there and a lot of great individuals out there that offer helpful and reasonably priced services for independent and do-it-yourself artists. But there are also a lot of services that are either unrealistic, overpriced, or just flat-out scams. So to survive in this landscape, we arm ourselves with information. And we're willing to protect ourselves. We're willing to put the time in that it takes to protect ourselves. So as you embark on your professional endeavors, be careful, be safe, and be wise.